it's Crafts for Reborns, just showing you a picture outside of my lovely apple tree. But today I'm doing a little bit of a tutorial on doll wigs. I have a work in progress right here. This is Alabaster. Her eyes are drawing and her lashes and her magnet, but I am just about to give her a wig. She's a lovely little fantasy baby. She's going to have a gray wig, which looks beautiful with the color of this outfit. So it's really difficult to find wigs for reborns. They are usually just big enough that doll wigs don't really fit them, but they're too small for adult wigs. So usually what I do is I buy adult wigs and cut them down. So I wanted to show you that process. So it really starts with marking. I don't know if you can see that on Alabaster there. She's got a little mark right there, marking the center of her head. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your wig, you're going to make sure that it's lining up with that line that you've made, and then you're going to flip the wig over and mark that spot. That's a really important spot. You really don't want to mess with the front of a wig because it's designed to look as realistic as possible from the front. So once you've got it marked, the doll's head marked, and you've got the wig marked, you are going to line the two of those up, and you can actually pin that into place. You can stick a pin right through the reborn's head. It's okay. It's going to be covered up by the wig. Or you can just hold it there. And you're going to hold the wig at the front and then pull the wig as tight as possible and stretch it to the back. You're going to be holding it so that you can actually feel up underneath the wig. So let's talk a little bit about how wigs are constructed here. Wigs are constructed with wefts that are sewn into a wig cap. So this mesh stuff that you see, that's the wig cap, and the lines that you see, those are the wefts. And you want to cut right next to a weft when you're cutting. So if you've got your reborn like this, you're holding the wig in the front, you're pulling it to the back, and underneath you're feeling for a weft. And you want to feel for the weft that is going to go all the way to the back of the reborn's head, but no further. Once you've found that weft, you're going to flip your wig over, and you're going to cut right next to the weft, right here. And make sure when you're cutting that you don't cut the hair, you cut the cap. And so you want to stick your scissors in there and be really gentle and really careful. So you can see here, this is how much I've cut off of this wig. I always kind of make my first cut be really generous because I want to make sure that I'm doing it right. And it's one of those things, if you do it wrong, yeah, you have to throw this out and buy another wig. But you can see all this hair is still usable, and I keep all these wefts that I haven't used, and there'll probably be enough hair here to root a smaller sized reborn, maybe a preemie sized reborn. So I do hold on to these. So this is the first cut I made. You can also see the wefts really clearly there. Oh, and also this particular wig had this kind of at the back, which I've never seen before, but I cut that off too. And then I stretched it one more time to be absolutely sure, and I thought, yeah, I think I need to cut one more weft off. So I have one more. This is what one weft looks like. So you do the back first, and that's great because in most wigs, the thickest part, you can see the wefts are sewn very close together, is the top and the front. Once we start getting here to the back, the wefts are usually spaced out, and that's where your wig has a tendency to get thinner, and that's the part that we're cutting off. So that's pretty cool. Then the next thing you want to do is the sides. You want to do the same thing. You want to hold this tight to the reborn's head, but this time you're stretching this way. And again, you're feeling for those wefts. Where can I make those cuts? And thank goodness there's a weft right there that made the perfect cut. You can see that I marked it with a marker. It also had these little things in the front, which I got rid of. And again, all that's nice usable hair for another doll later on. So I cut one side. And again, there's all of our wefts. And then I cut the other side. And this is typical of what you are left with. You're left with the front and the top intact, and you've cut a lot off the sides and down here in the back. So you want to do the same kind of thing when you're gluing the wig. I usually glue the wig in a two-step process. I start by putting glue all over the top of the Reborn's head. Again, I use my mark, so my mark in the wig is going to match the mark on her head, and I stretch it really, really tight. I'm not trying to actually go all the way to the edge with my glue. I just put the glue in kind of this part right here. And some of the glue is going to ooze, and that's fine. A little oozing is okay. Then I put a lot of tight things over the Reborn. So I put like a stocking over the Reborn, maybe several stockings, because this stretchy tight part is the part that I want. Hospital caps work really, really well. And one of the best things is just plain ordinary rubber bands. Although what I usually do first is try to put aluminum foil or plastic wrap or wax paper or something over the Reborn's face so that the rubber bands don't accidentally leave any marks on the Reborn's face. What kind of glue you use, pretty much any glue is going to work. I find tacky glue is good, but it takes a really long time to dry. Right now I happen to have a lot of it, so that's what I'm going to be using. One thing that dries really fast is E6000, which is the same stuff that you use to seal your Reborn's hair, and that usually dries much quicker. So after I put the glue on, I'm going to wait several days until the wig is really secure, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to peel up the edges, and I'm going to see, because I know the glue is going to kind of seep and spread, but I want to see how much. So I go back in and do all around the edges, any edges that are lifting up, and then I do the same thing, cover it with the hospital cap or elastic bands or pantyhose, and leave it again for another 2 days if it's E6000, more like 3 or 4 if it's tacky glue, and then check it one last time to hopefully see how secure that wig is. So I hope this little tutorial has helped you on how to cut down adult or even child-sized wigs for your Reborns. TTFN, ta-ta for now.